Well, what got it all going is that there was a big steel factory over there. So I mean, in fact, for 50 years, you'd look in that direction. This would be well before time. You know, from 1894 to 1950, you look in that direction, it would have been looking like Pittsburgh or Gary. I mean, it was Republic Steel.
Yeah.
I mean, it was big time. But then when they closed it in the demolition, so when I came in 1968, I mean, vegetation was starting to come back, not nearly as much, but this side was always wooded. But then it was, what do you do with it? When it was
Yeah.
given, some out of the city, Moline got it. So no, I think this part, yeah, it's a couple of years of weed growth, but it will take, I don't know the kind of mowing equipment that departments have, whether it be equipment or whether one will have to simply have hackers, but
Yeah, we can get this knocked down pretty quick.
yeah.
I was worried there was going to be a lot more trees. you
Yeah.
know, A lot more trees on the trails, but no, this isn't too bad.
This snake root just takes over everywhere.
What is it?
It's snake root, and so it has these beautiful white flowers in the fall. We've got it in our yard, and it's just impossible, just about impossible to stop, because look at all the seeds that are here. But over in this natural place, you might call it an invasive, but it's so invaded that you're not going to get rid of that.
He said
But
snake
you would
root.
cut it. I mean,
Oh,
here,
okay.
this of course was mowed from wall all the way over to about here. This was all a mowed path, and that was the intention. That you could have 6 people walking across. Yeah, so this is not intended to be a narrow path here. This is the main anchor way across the island. And then this was where the big factory was. Again, and most people know that, but I was starting to explain to him, from here east, that was the part that Republic Steel had as their site from 1894 to 1954. So this actually is a path, and this one again, but not this. This had more normal soil, so this is just walking. It's shaded. It's saying this is one of the paths that's marked on the map, and it's in a more normal forest floor. So you've got some stuff that have come up, but again, like in most forests where it's all shaded over the top, there really hasn't been that much growth here, which you wouldn't expect in the shade of these big trees. But again, it looked like, okay, we're heading, but again, look at, because of the sort of tough soil, this had been like almost a driveway, so right below this, you don't really have good soil, so not that much stuff has come back. So yeah, you could have, if you needed to have this going by the end of the week, you could have this part here.
Yeah,
I'm actually amazed this is in better shape than I thought.
Yeah, so far, that's right.
It's not good.
So yeah, we were saying this area, this could be cleaned up by the weekend, just to trim this back. This is the way it looked. And I know there have been some people who dock here, because officially the park is open still, officially, as long as they come by boat. And here's where they could pull a boat in, pull a canoe in, a kayak. The interesting thing about this island is you got the one power plant that's there, and as I was just mentioning to Lori, you have this section over here. And it had some revisions, but more or less, this is almost 150 years old. And as we speak, maybe you heard me say that it's providing 20 to 25% of the power for running the whole Rock Island Arsenal. And so that's why we can talk about this place as a historic park. It's a nature, but on one side or the other, you've got these links with most of the key elements of Rock Island, the Quad City history. I mean, you can talk about railroads, you can talk farm implement business, you can talk about the arsenal, and you can come over here and study it on the island rather than just going to the Putnam Museum. That's why I thought there aren't many places where in an outdoor setting you could teach as much history as well as what kind of plants you have. And that's what I'm mostly a human geographer, and that's why I got excited about this place, a lot of years ago. In 1969, 70, this was, without much exaggeration, almost totally covered with rusty beer cans, because that was before the aluminum stuff. And there were refrigerators and mattresses and stoves. We had regular cleanups, and on one weekend, big dump trucks, not the smaller ones, we filled 7 dump trucks of stuff coming out of here. That was one time. And so that went on for the better part of a decade as we would have these cleanup activities out here. But now it's so, that's why for me to come back anytime and you're walking through seemingly like woods, oh, what a difference from the way it looked in 1969. So therefore, I think when my feeling of excitement that the city is talking about it and that the bridge seems to be that will be in the works to open it up again. Everybody and the Dreamers, all of these students who came to know it, the people who gave money in honor of Tom Rogers will be excited. The biking club will be excited. The fishing people will be excited. So I'm the one who's talking, but every one of those people would be as excited as I am to know that this place that we put a lot of interest and sweat and time and effort and money even into fixing it up, because the Dreamers raised money to do some of that. We put a lot of stuff into that, and to now see that, hey, that wasn't all for naught. Our dream of what that island would be is still going to occur.